Well then, hello Sugar Buns, this will be our new survivor Escapologist who has recently just been released in test server and for all our Identity V viewers for, May 2025, new survivor that will be coming out right after the tourney settings too. However, let's look at his full 360-degree view here first before anything else, and of course we can see from his character design too, he has quite a lot of chains and keys on his hands alongside with a turtle on his hand and a scar on his head and a tattoo, with 2 earrings as well, which isn't too bad, no shoes, and overall a nice enough outfit. However, we'll be going through his still descriptions first before answering anyone's questions just yet. As we can see on the bottom left hand side of your screen, you have 2 turtles in total, and of course this is what your preview animation will look like when you're gonna hold your turtle and get ready to throw it out. In a sense, we can provide assistance towards the survivors to use this as well, but we cannot forget, as I throw out this turtle, there's a total of 25 seconds in total before you can use your turtle once again. However, turbo lasts for 15 seconds in total, as we cannot forget as well, and it has an outer radius of 16.9 meters, so all the outer radius out here is 16.9, and the inner radius is 11.8 meters. As we can see here as well, just about when our smoke screen ended, we were actually able to have only 10 seconds remaining before we're able to use our turbo here once again. But this isn't the bigger thing that I want to talk about. What I want to say is this guy can also pick up items as well right after he used up all his turbos. As you can see, I searched for a perfume in the chest. I cannot pick up the perfume, unfortunately, but if I throw my last turbo out, now, as you can see, it gives me the indication of picking up my perfume. Now, of course, that opens for some odd reason, but as you can see, I can use a perfume just about like any other survivor too. Now then, one key factor about Escapologist is the fact that he leaves no footprints near the smoke screen. So if we just throw this one out here and we look at the edge of the smoke right behind us, while Escapologist runs inside, you actually don't see any smoke screen at all. You don't see any footprints at all. So even if you're inside this area, you cannot see the footprints deployed down by Escapologist. I think this is only exclusive for Escapologist, so when he's actually in the smoke screen, overall everything should be fine. The next part about our smoke screen is the fact that survivors are kind of hidden away from the smoke screen. So as you can see on the top right hand of our screen, we see 2 dots of survivor with Postman right in front of us. But the moment that the survivor is inside the smoke screen, you can see as well, right? You can't really see Postman as visible as before, but that also could be because he's at the edge. But also at the same time, if our Escapologist just goes in as well, you don't really see the red mark indications anymore. However, the biggest thing about this is that Escapologist also, you can kind of see the Escapologist inside this zone as well. So if we throw it down here once again, and we go inside the smoke screen, and then I'll get her to go inside the smoke screen too. Apparently, they say you should be able to see Escapologist, but I'm not too sure what they meant by this. But overall, it's a bit of a weird one. The skill description is a bit weirder than I thought it would be, but I kind of just wanted to point this out to everyone as well, that your map, the red dot indicator, will be hidden if you're inside the smoke screen too. However, once again, we cannot forget about one extra thing too. It's the fact that when survivors leaves the smoke screen after 7 seconds, you'll be able to see where the survivors are afterwards as well. So this is more or less just going to be a small countdown for me. Survivor's location should be revealed to me. It's almost been 7 seconds. There we go. You see a small indicator there of where the survivor was and a small red lighting too. We're going to try this once again. But how we're gonna do this one this time is the fact that I'm gonna wait until my smoke screen is almost over, get Nine to run behind this wall, and then get my Escapologist to run out. Let's see if we have any indications here. There you go. You can see the Escapologist here being highlighted 7 seconds after they left the area. So that's more or less applying to every survivor, just so everyone knows. This itself will be a whole separate video, but the Hunter's projectiles also cannot pass the smoke screen. So for an example, you can throw warp, or you cannot throw warp over. Like, you cannot put warp right in the middle of the smoke screen. That's one of the bigger examples I can give you. And the next one is Knight's Harpoon. So as you can see here, you can't go through, but if I just throw the harpoon back and I use the turbo once again, you should be able to get your dashes through, which is the thing as well. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to dash over. And as you can see, dashes 100% work as well. It's more or less just throwables in a sense that you can't throw anything over this smokescreen area. But that's kind of what I wanted everyone to see. This will be a whole different video tomorrow that will be released too, which is basically him versus all hunters. Well, we'll see you later we'll move on to the next, ability for now. One thing that I like to tell everyone is the fact that there is a turbo on every chair in the map. And I do mean this, there is a turbo on every chair in the map. So this simply just means that you can kind of use your ability globally regardless of what happens. Then I guess the biggest question everyone actually has is about his escaped art. So for escaped art in a nutshell, we can use it kind of globally across the map too. I'm just gonna get this knight to chair this psychologist, and when we chair the psychologist, we want to transfer her towards, let's say, this chair right in front of us instead. Yeah, that one so everyone can see. So I'm gonna chair psychologist right now. We're gonna use our item, so we're gonna press R, and then we're gonna teleport her here. And as we can see, this is what it looks like when we teleport them out. And of course, Psychologist is on this side of the map too. However, it seems like the turbo actually does not get consumed right after you teleport over as well. So that's kind of one of the things that I'm really interested about too. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the Psychologist back towards, the chair. Grab the psychologist. Knight is going to come back to us right now. Knight will also chair on time, and we will use our escape art too. So with that being dropped down, let's use our escape art. So I'm going to press R, and you're able to teleport over. Okay then, so this simply just means that this item is a global assist item that buys extra 5-second time to teleport over. But it does seem like the teleportation time actually isn't 5 seconds, so it could be a whole lot slower as well. Okay then, we're gonna see this from the hunter's point of view this time, right? So what we're gonna see here is, where did you go? Oh, you went here. What we're gonna see here this time is what we can actually do with Escapologist ourselves as well. So the question now being, how long does it take for us to actually teleport out of the same area? We're gonna do like a 1, 2, 3 countdown. Let's use our warp as an example here, right? So we're gonna look at warp countdown and actually do a very accurate countdown here. So in our head, let's just teleport over towards a random chair. Okay then, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Okay, I think it takes like 4 to 5 seconds to transfer. Fair enough. But during that transfer time too, when you're on that 6-second countdown, as you can see, your whole, spiel, your whole like chair progress will also continue too. But more or less in this scenario, we're gonna be able to see that very nice rescue there from our side too. We can actually throw the warp out this time, and then bring the warp back and use it as a countdown speed once again to see how long it actually takes us to transfer. You have to activate the ability within 5 seconds, but let's see here. It doesn't. It does say the timer pauses during transfer, but we're gonna try here once again to see how long it takes. I am going to get ready to transfer over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, it does take 5 seconds for you to transfer over, but when you are locked and immune, more or less in this scenario, your chair progress still also goes up as well. So more or less, it takes 5 seconds to transfer. Well, no, sorry. It takes 5 seconds. You need to transfer within 5 seconds, and it takes 5 seconds to transfer. So more or less, this is like 5 extra seconds of chair time from the side of our Escapologist, and the turbo's doesn't really get consumed. I also don't think that you can hit the chair to get rid of the turbo. That'll be quite an interesting watch as well, if that's really the case, but it doesn't seem like it is actually doable at all, to be honest with you. So at least from escape art, from what we know, it's a very, 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 very interesting skill. Now then, I do think everyone have a question whether or not you can actually see which chair that the survivors are going to teleport to, so that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to put Doctor here on chair, and I'm going to get my Escapologist to actually teleport the Doctor towards a whole different chair. As we can see here, the chair will be highlighting in yellow for the one that actually will be transferred over to, and you have a total of 11 seconds to get towards the chair within this 38 medius range. So I think I kind of answered all questions everyone had for his escape art, and now we'll move on. I guess everyone's really curious whether or not you can rescue from basement. The skill description says you cannot rescue from basement, but you know what, we might as well check it out here. Anyway, as you can see, there is no countdown for turbo. There's no countdown for turbo at all for the perfumer, so you definitely cannot rescue from basement, unfortunately. Okay, this is more of an interesting watch. We know how his misdirection works. His misdirection works by, if he takes a normal hit, he will teleport towards another area, but the hunter's attack recovery does not occur. What we're going to test out here is, The question is, can we tank a Terrorshock hit and still perform the rescue? I'm on red pin, by the way, so it might be a little bit different if you're on green pin, so I'm very sorry for that. I'm based in NAEU, so unfortunately this just wouldn't work as much. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna rescue and attack at the same time. And as you can see there, it's okay. However, the issue with this is the fact that you may be able to tank a Terrorshock hit once, but I just think that the Hunter recovers way too fast, especially in Naya 2. Some of them recovers way too fast, and you still might get Terrorshocked as well. But for Misdirection, more or less, that's kind of all what I wanted to show everyone in this case. There'll be a whole separate video tomorrow once again when it comes to him versus all Hunters, when it comes to Smokescreen and Misdirection 2. And not only that as well, we can't forget about the fact that he also has this anticipation. So what is anticipation? Basically, his vaulting speed is increased by 10%. As you can see here, it is really fast. His decoding speed is reduced by 15%, so he basically decodes the same as a Weeping Clown. And not only that too, when, let's say, a survivor is on chair, she is able to see any survivors being carried by balloon. So he's basically able to see all survivors carried by balloon when someone's on balloon. As you can see here, our location will be revealed for this character. But then once again, in a nutshell, look, he's such a great character to use as well, in a sense that you can kind of do all of these at the same time, and whatever shirt that the survivor teleports to has, you know, the indication as well. So overall for Hunters, it's not that bad in a sense too. But that's gonna be it from our video for today for Escapologist. The whole Escapologist versus all Hunters will come out tomorrow as a video by itself, but hopefully you enjoyed this small preview that we're gonna be able to show everyone, and just more or less a small introduction as well to Escapologist. More or less, I'm gonna be looking forward to see how many people actually thinks of him, and how many people will also main him too. He does have quite a nice cute scar on his face as well, but that is it's an RBF. It is an RBF, but we'll move on, and hopefully everyone enjoyed. We'll see y'all in the next video.